What's up, Tiger Gang? It's JT from the Poco Moonshine family. We're back again with another beautiful episode of Chatting with Carnivores. Today we got Lana Makara. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm so happy and excited to be here.
I'm glad you're here. I love that chair you're sitting on. It's like a boss chair. You're like I just that's why I asked. I was just picturing you like with a cat. That's why I asked you if you had a pet. Like stroking the cat.
Yeah, this is kind of a cat type of chair, that's for sure.
It's great. I love it. I love it. Let's start things out. Where are you from and where are you at now?
I'm originally from Delaware. I grew
Delaware.
up in the Amish community in Delaware. A lot of people don't know there's an Amish community in Delaware, but um, pretty large group of Amish families there. And my parents were both born Amish. They weren't Amish when I was born. They left the Amish before I was born. So I wasn't Amish, but I was Mennonite and I lived in the Amish community. So that's where I started. And I lived overseas in the Caribbean 14 years. I've lived all over the country.
Wow.
So I'm in Florida at the moment. I'm in northern Florida. That's that. I've been here for about 15 months, I guess. And I
What's
do
your
like Florida.
You do love Florida. What's your favorite thing about the Amish culture? Do you have anything you like about the Amish culture?
Sure, yeah, I do. Quite a few things actually. They live close to the land. They know how to take care of themselves off grid, and they teach good values to their children. They teach respect. They teach work, and they teach their children how to work, how to do things. And they're very skilled in many different ways. The kids now, the Amish kids now, have more access to cell phones and those kind of things than when I was growing up. But still, you don't see anyone, sitting around vegging out. Um, and so I came from a family with a very tough work ethic. Even though we weren't Amish, we definitely had to work. And the culture in my family, I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back now, I realized how much the culture of my family was Amish. It wasn't a standard, American family, that's for sure. Um, so yeah, and it helped me, as a raising my own children and managing my life, and then we lived overseas in the jungle and I was fine. I knew how to cook from scratch. I knew how to do the things I needed to do,
Wow.
and so it prepared me for my life, and I love a simple life. I absolutely love quiet in the evening, and doing my work and not expecting a lot of activity. I love the slow life, I tell you.
Yeah, as my buddy
Yeah.
Kerry says, Jesus, other, yourself, joy. And I love living by that. Jesus, others, and then yourself. And it's a nice, slow, calm way to live, in my opinion. I love it a lot more
Mhm.
than my younger days. And you're in
Oh, yeah.
Florida, so what's your favorite part about Florida?
Well, it's warm here, like the Caribbean. I love the Caribbean climate. And so, the subtropical, area is great. I really love that. I'm in the country. I live back in the woods in Florida, and many people don't know it, but Florida is one of the biggest farming states in the country. And I have cows in the back, cows in the front.
That's awesome.
Front windows, back windows, cows all over the place, pastures and green grass, and just lovely. I'm just, it's my kind of place. It's 13 miles, I think, to the nearest Walmart.
Wow. So do you live on a homestead?
It is kind of yeah, kind of that. I don't have a lot of acreage. I just have 1 acre, but of course I'm single. It's just me. But there is a nice piece of property here. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, let's get into some carnivore and your diet. What led you to the carnivore diet? Did you have any food battles growing up?
Well, I didn't really think about the carnivore diet, and I was raised to, you have a plate with meat, potatoes, and vegetables. That was how you weren't eating a meal,
Trinity.
unless you had that on your plate. And I was that kind of mom, with my kids, like, eat your vegetables. But about a year ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, I don't really know when they started, but I started having stomach aches. And my stomach would just hurt and hurt and hurt. And I've had surgery on my digestive system before, major surgery. And so when my stomach starts hurting, I pay attention. And so during that time, I wasn't really thinking it was serious enough to get medical intervention or anything like that. I was like, what did I eat? How come I'm, having these stomach aches? And they started lasting me 2-3 days. And in that period of time, I was watching Justin Rhodes, has that homesteading channel, and he had some kind of arthritis or some kind of fibromyalgia or something. He was having pain, inflammation, and he was doing two things for it. He was going out in the winter and jumping in the lake, which I was like, oh my God, cold
That's
plunge
polar
in the
bear, and
morning.
they up here they do that in Lake Michigan and Wisconsin. Here they
Oh,
polar bear.
yes.
I don't polar bear, that's for sure.
Oh, I couldn't even stand to watch it. So then the other thing he was doing was eating carnivore, but he was only eating meat, nothing but meat. I guess lion diet was really what he was doing. And he would talk about it, and he would show us a big plate with it covered, like the steak is overlapping the sides of the plate.
Woo!
And I was like, people actually do that? I was so uneducated. I had no idea. And never thought really about doing it myself. It didn't really come to my mind. To me, it seemed like a really extreme solution, but he did get better doing the carnivore diet. Now, he didn't stay with it. He just did it as a remedy. And then in December of last year, December 2022, I had a Zoom call with a friend who was a former client. And wow, the transformation. This was somebody that had multiple health issues, diabetes, all kinds of different things. She was always fighting weight. She was really struggling. And she looked fabulous. I mean, years had dropped off, and I could tell she'd lost quite a bit. And she said, I'm feeling wonderful. I'm like, what are you doing? It's amazing. She said, oh, I've been following Dr. Berry. I've been doing the BBB&E diet. I'm like, okay, tell me about it. So she told me. And I thought, man, that is very great. Good for you. I'm so happy for you. But it never occurred to me that I, should do it at that point. Well, it was about 2 weeks later. It was Christmas. And I went to see my sister in South Carolina. And my family lives in Delaware. It's 24-hour drive. I don't go very often. So it was Christmas, but I didn't go that time. And I went to my sister, on the 26th, I drove up there. And on the 27th, I got a stomach ache. Now, I had been eating Christmas food. I wasn't stuffing myself with goodies or anything like that. But, I think I might have had a piece of pumpkin pie, and I might have had this or that, And I got this stomach ache on the 27th. It was a pretty bad one. And it hurt me all night. And the next morning, I still had the pain. And I thought, what in the heck? So my sister said to me, drink some wine. It might help. I'm not a drinker. I've never liked alcohol. I don't like the taste of it. To me, you might as well be drinking vinegar. I cannot stand the taste, especially wine. But any kind of alcohol. And, I'm trying to get down a couple of sips, and it did help. But I thought, I'm not going to start drinking wine because I have a stomach ache. I got to
Yeah.
find an answer here. So I drove home on the 28th, and the whole drive home, 7 hours, I'm thinking, what am I going to do? And I remembered my friend. And that's really what did it for me. She looked so good. She felt so good. I thought, well, that's an elimination diet. It's only beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, and I'll do it for a month. So by the time I got home, I was a carnivore. And I started to just eat those things. And, I was really liking it. I was liking it. I was satisfied. I felt happy. And I never had another stomach ache. I haven't had one since.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So I wasn't strictly beef. I had stuff in the freezer, and so I was pulling meat out of the freezer, and eating that. So I was eating pork a little bit of chicken. But I wasn't eating anything plant-based, nothing like that. It was just the meat and the butter. Now, I was putting whole cream in my coffee. That was one thing. I was on coffee. I was drinking coffee. And so I was putting electrolytes in my coffee to make it a little salty, and it's whole cream. That was the only other thing. But I was doing great. And 2 weeks went by, and I wasn't concerned about losing weight. That wasn't even in my mind. I started to look at YouTube channels about carnivore, and I started to see there was a community, and it interested me about, other people's stories, just like what we were talking about, people's stories. And about 2 weeks after I started the diet, I had to fly. I had to fly from Jacksonville, Florida to Boston. I was going to be speaking at Harvard University, and normally I would be really edgy going to the airport. And that time, it was the 15th of January, I was so calm. I was like totally chilled out. And on the drive to the airport, I was thinking, why am I so calm? I mean, I would normally be running scenarios in my head, what did I forget? Maybe the plane will be late. What if, there's traffic and all this stuff, and nothing. I mean, I was like totally cool. And that never in my life had that ever happened before. I carried a lot of anxiety all my life. I had a very traumatic childhood and very difficult marriage. And so to be chilled out with no anxiety, are you kidding me?
And you weren't
Something was
taking
going
special
on.
special brownies, huh?
Yeah, no brownies. And that was when I first realized there's more to this. That was really it. And then I went to Boston. I had a great experience speaking. I was very calm, and I had a good trip, and I was never hungry. The whole time I'm in hotels in the past, I would be worrying, am I going to be able to get dinner? If I arrive too late and the restaurants are closed, what am I going to eat? And all this stuff. And I'd be hiding protein bars, all over in my purse and my luggage everywhere. I was good. I was great. I stuck with it, eating in restaurants and stuff like that. And so when I got back, I thought, I'm going to stick with this for 3 months. I'm going to see where this goes, because there's more going on here, and I want to see. And then by that point, I'm watching Homestead How, Carrie, and I'm watching these other people, and they're talking about all these benefits. So yeah, about 3 months in, I stopped drinking coffee.
Good for you.
It just happened naturally. One day I was drinking my coffee, and I realized I'm not really enjoying this. This is not really doing it for me. And by this point, I had the idea that if I wasn't enjoying it, I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to do it, because the last time I made chicken, I couldn't eat it. It tasted like chemicals, or I don't know why would chicken taste like chemicals? I have no idea. It was, frozen chicken, raw chicken. Um, but I threw it away. I couldn't eat it. And after that, I never bought any more chicken. So, stuff was just kind of drifting off
Hmm.
of the radar. And so when I didn't really like my coffee, I thought I'm just going to go with coffee substitute for a while. So I had Dandy Blend. I like Dandy Blend. And so I just started drinking Dandy Blend. And I was fine. I was fine with Dandy Blend. And I drank that for another 2 or 3 months and then didn't really care much about it. I thought, well, if I don't need it, I'm not going to buy it. It's expensive. So I let that go. I let Dandy Blend go. And so then I started drinking hot drink in the morning is carnivore tea. It's what I call carnivore tea. So what it is butter, like 2 tablespoons of butter, quite a bit of butter, electrolytes, unflavored electrolytes, and boiling water. And then I stick an immersion blender in there and foam it all up. And it's delicious. I absolutely love it. It's
I
just
never heard of
butter and
carnivore tea.
like,
I like that.
and yeah, so I started drinking that in the morning and I loved it. Sometimes I'll put in some cinnamon, or sometimes I'll put in like a drop of vanilla, but really nothing that's so drastic. Um, and if I want something in the afternoon, I feel a little edgy, I'll just have that, and satisfies me till whenever I want to eat. So I went through extreme withdrawal, stopping coffee. I was sick like the flu for about five
Really?
days. Body aches, full body aches, just all kinds of weird things. And
It wasn't the keto flu, huh?
kind of like that. And I was really surprised because I was drinking very mild coffee, um, not the strong espresso, anything. But I was drinking it every single day. So, yeah. And when I went through that, I thought that's it for me and coffee. I'm not drinking any more coffee. If it's doing that to me and I didn't realize it, I'm not going back, which I don't need it. I don't miss it at all. I have good energy. So, yeah. So that really, now it's been almost 11 months. I've lost about 40 pounds, I guess.
Good for you.
Um, I feel so good, and I've had so many amazing benefits from, this the improvements in my life since I started carnivore.
What's been your favorite non-scale victory, would you say?
I'm pain free, and I've got a lot of energy. So I move, I can move. I can jump up out of the chair and get in and out of the car and come up the steps with my groceries and all that stuff without any hesitation at all. It's just, so amazing. My body is like rejuvenated. It's incredible how good I feel. And, you know, um, I'm of a certain age. I'm over 60, and most of my friends are, complaining and slowing down and all this stuff, and I'm speeding up.
You're running around them.
I'm good and I'm loving it. Yeah.
That's awesome. You got to recommend the carnivore diet to them. Say, hey, here's my card. Here's my carnivore card. If you're feeling like crap, hit me up. You got to have your friend on your channel that got you into carnivore.
I will have to see if she wants to do that. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, and if she ever comes on your channel, send her my way. I'd love to hear her story too, because she inspired
Okay.
you, and I think that's amazing. How many meals a day are you eating, Lana?
I'm eating 2 meals a day. I eat the first meal around between 2 and 4 p.m. And that's my big meal of the day. I will make a roast and cut it into 4 pieces, and I'll eat one piece at that meal or something of that nature. It's meat. I eat meat the first meal. And then late, probably 7 o'clock, I'll eat something lighter. I'll scramble some eggs or, do something like that. I have bone broth with chunks of meat in it, and I make that myself and freeze it, and I'll have one container of that for my second meal. So I have something that is a little soothing before bed, a couple hours before I go to bed. And that really has worked so well for me. I feel happy. I feel happy all the time. I do eat pork rinds when I feel like something munchy. Um, I will dip pork rinds in sour cream sometimes, not all the
Oh, how
time.
dare you?
But that's about it. Yeah.
Any what else are you eating? And ground beef, any fish?
Yes. I do have ground beef, and I will take a large, like a 3 pound pack of ground beef, and I'll form it into patties and put that in the freezer so I can pull a patty out when I want. Because I'm living alone and I don't want to take a whole lot of it out at one time. But that's cool because I can put one large ground beef patty, which is probably 6 to 8 ounces, I would say, and put it on a plate, cover it up, and let it sit there for an hour or so, and then it's thawed. It's quick to get that ready to cook, and that'll do me, for a meal. So I do ground beef. I do chuck roast, chuck steak. I love ribeyes. I would eat ribeyes
Yes,
every day if I could afford them. But $20 a day is a little steep for me.
it adds up. Rick's in Florida, and he says before a hurricane comes, that they put the meat on sale. So he says that's when he'll stock up on stuff. So if it's hurricane season, you better start getting room in the freezer ready because all the sales are coming. At least that's what I'm hearing from Rick down there in Florida.
Rick must have a good generator because I was in the hurricane. I was in Hurricane Idalia, and it hit my house, and a limb came off of a large tree and took out the power pole that's attached to my house. The pole that's outside the end of my house. It took it completely down. All my electrical stuff was on the ground, and it took a month for me to get electric back. Um, so now I've got half a freezer full of food, full of meat, and I'm scrambling to find a place to put it. And I took some of it to my neighbor and so forth, but I still lost some. And yeah, so hurricane sales are great if you have a generator.
Rick, you didn't tell me that one. Yeah, he says hurricane season is over. Unfortunately, yes, I have a wood powered generator. Had no power for 2 months after Andrew. Yikes!
Wow.
Yikes!
I have
Now, are
so much
you?
respect for somebody who knows how to do that,
Yeah,
put
Rick
that
is a
together.
smart
Yeah,
guy. Very smart guy. Glad to know.
total respect.
Do you
Yeah,
take any electrolytes, Lana?
I do. Yeah.
Is it
Uh,
like a?
I
Do you
I
take a certain
actually
brand, or you make your own?
I make my own. I took the milligrams off of the element package,
They should have never put that on there. You ain't the first one.
and I did the research, and I make my own concoction with baking soda, salt, and I use plain Epsom salts is magnesium. It is consumable because people use that for laxative. Um, and so I figured out the ratios, and now I have my recipe, and I mix it up in a big bowl and pour it into a jar, and then I dip out of that, and I'll use maybe a eighth of a teaspoon for a glass. Um, yeah, those ingredients are so cheap. Baking soda, salt, and Epsom salts, they are so cheap. I refuse to pay X amount and have a little package that I have to throw away. So
Well,
there's
yeah, you're paying
okay.
for the
That's
brand
for
name and everything.
that's for Rick to tell him I'm not exactly helpless. I don't have a wood fired generator, but
Yeah, Simpson says she is LOL. She is sharing my electrolyte recipe. Yeah, she's putting Element out of business. Hey, I'm not sponsored by them, so you can sell your recipe all you want. I like being a free agent, not having any strings attached to me, like a puppet.
Yes, I do too. I do too. I don't like
Never pay for
paying
those pricey
exorbitant.
powders. Exactly.
Yeah, it's not. Why should we pad their pocket? What, because they're putting it in a box with a fancy, pretty label you have to throw away.
Right, right. I think in a couple extra bucks in the pocket, it's a little bit more pretty. What are you doing for exercise, Lana?
I have a small trampoline, one of those little trampolines in my living room, and I bounce on that. I walk. I do stretches and kind of a yoga type of thing, but it's not yoga. Um, so that's basically it. I was going for deep tissue massage twice a month. That really did help me when I was in the first 6 months of carnivore. I was releasing so much of crap from my body. The detoxing that goes on, the fat holds so many toxins. And all that. And so, yeah, it wasn't pleasant, believe it or not. Deep tissue massage can be painful. They
Hmm.
get in there, and then for a day or two after, I would feel sick, like nauseated because of all the stuff they were releasing out. But little by little, I have really just come up in my well-being and my energy and all that. The hurricane disrupted my massages
Oh
because I
no.
was out of my house for a month and, on and on. Then I didn't have any money because I had to pay for the repairs. So yeah, I haven't gone back yet. I'm thinking probably after the first of the year I'll be ready to go back, but I'm not in any distress anymore. Used to be I would be go like, oh, my shoulder or oh, my knee or whatever, but no, I'm feeling good actually.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing. So was your transition to the carnivore diet kind of rough for you said maybe the first 3 months you were kind of dumping toxins?
Yeah, not like really super sick. Some people really get the flu type of thing. I only got that when I quit coffee. But yeah. And even now, I think we as we are losing the fat, and I still have a little bit to go. I'm not there quite yet.
Oh, me too. I still got the
Yeah, yeah, there's some of that going on. So, I think that we, might get to a spot in the fat body that we have here that is full of toxins, and then we might have a little, a couple of rough days for a while till that dissipates and so forth. It's a process. I mean, we put this on over a period of years, and it's going to take a little bit to, get down. I'm kind of curious to see what will happen when all the fat is gone, and it's just the good stuff left. Yeah.
you're going to be on a Florida beach somewhere
Yeah.
right before hurricane season. Don't go out there during hurricane season, but right before hurricane season.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what's your favorite cut of beef, would you say? Was it the ribeye?
Ribeye. And I usually like to get it at a restaurant, like a steakhouse that knows how to cook meat. Not every restaurant is good, but
Yeah.
yeah, if I'm going to go for ribeye, I'm going to go and get somebody who knows how to cook it. I didn't know how to cook meat
No?
when I started this. I really didn't. I mean, I was
How did you learn?
making meatloaf for the family with all that bad stuff in it and that kind of thing, but I never really knew how to cook a good piece of meat. And so after being in this community and people are sharing their methods, I can make a pretty good steak now and I can make a great roast. I love making roast. And I learned how to make steak from Carnivore Quest. Yeah. Um, so now, that I'm cooking meat every day, or most days, because sometimes I have leftovers. That's given me a chance to practice and find out what I do like and so forth. And also the seasonings, the seasoned salts, because I need a little more than just plain salt.
Have you
And
tried Red Wings?
It's been a challenge to find it without sugar, sugar, dextrose, or some other
Yeah.
hidden form of sugar. But I found farmer's dust. Farmer's dust is an Amish seasoning.
Oh.
And I used to use it in the past, and my sister had some. And I looked at the label, and it had no sugar in it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get some of this. This is good. So that's what I've been using, farmer's dust. It has a
Farmer's
lot
dust.
of
Hmm.
garlic powder and onion powder, I think, in it.
Have you tried the Redmond's real salt yet?
Yes, I have.
Isn't it amazing stuff?
I know.
I thought everybody was just hyping it up. I'm like, yeah. You got some brand name salt. Good for you. But then I actually tried it. I was like, okay, this is actually really good. I see why they keep bringing it up.
Yeah. I bought one of those keychains from
Oh, me
Carrie.
too. Me too. I used mine for a YouTube short at the Texas Roadhouse, and oh my gosh, the comments, you're gonna kill yourself and all this other stuff, and it already comes salted. Why do you need it? What's wrong with the salt that the restaurant gives you? Is that the best salt of all of Shire? I'm like, oh my gosh. It kind of is the best salt of all of Shire because it's Redmond's real salt, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
But you don't know unless you've had it. Like at first I thought they were, I was doing carnivore myself. I'm like, why do they keep hyping this Redmond's? Like, what do these guys got to deal with them or something? But it's just really good salt.
Yes, it is. It is great. Yeah.
Well, do you mind if we get to a couple comments and questions here?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
If you
I've
guys could,
been really astounded at how opinionated people are about what I eat. I mean,
yeah.
why are you worried about what I eat?
Hey, well, that's the internet. It's what we're all here for. We're nosy. Let's get going here. Let's see. Don says, "Good evening. How you doing, Don?" Rick, it's rained so much I must be a duck. You are a duck, bud. Sandra says, "Quack, quack, Rick."
I have to be honest, whenever I hear about ducks, I think of Rick.
Yes. Ducks and iguanas now. Those are his spirit animals. Rick says, "Real Amish cannot survive in Florida. It is too hot."
There is a large Amish and Mennonite community in Pinecraft, Florida, which is just south of Sarasota. So they do come down here, but probably in the winter.
Yeah, that's what he said. We do have some Mennonites. I never heard of that sounds like a dude's group, like boys' night out. Met the Mennonites, like I never heard of it.
Yeah. My mother actually lived in Pinecraft when she was a child.
Oh, yeah?
They lived in Florida for a short time, yeah. And it's still heavily Mennonites and a few Amish.
Karen, hello all. How you doing, Karen? Let's see here. Just going through these, making sure. Scooby the dog. Is that you, Ellen? Good evening, Lana and chat friends. White Dove says, "Here, how you doing, White Dove?" Bareness of Beef. Alicia, I got her coming on here very soon. She says, "Hey, gang," and she says, "an egg yolk in that tea is bomb, too." Have you tried putting an egg yolk in there?
I haven't done egg yolk. No, I need to try that.
Try it. Let us know. Have you made a video on that yet, Lana?
No, I haven't. I need to.
Yes, the carnivore tea. Girl, make that tea and show us how it's done. So butter, electrolytes, and egg yolk, and water, right?
Yeah, hot boiling water. If you're going to do an egg yolk, you're going to have to foam, the immersion blender, and then put the egg yolk in while it's blending. Otherwise, you're going to cook your egg. But yeah, the
that's a
immersion
good
blender.
tip. I didn't know that. I would have cooked my egg.
I've written 3 cookbooks, and now I can't use them.
Oh, no.
Cookbooks are no good.
Now you got to do a carnivore cookbook. Make another one. This one will be just a little different.
Yeah.
Hey, I would buy it, Lana. I haven't had coffee for a couple of weeks, but I miss a hot something in the morning. You're the hot something in the morning. Just look in the mirror. Come on now.
If you're looking for a substitute, Dandy Blend is great. You can get it on Amazon.
Dandy Blend?
Dandy Blend. It's made with roasted dandelions, and it tastes just like coffee, but it doesn't have any caffeine. And I know that's not strict carnivore, but use what, teaspoon and a half in your cup. It's not really that much. And it is a good bridge to get, off of it.
Yeah, it helps you get off of it. So
It
that's a
did.
great tip.
Yeah.
Some people are still struggling with the coffee. Oh, my dog, if I could get some of that energy, I'd be eternally grateful. Hey, she's got a lot of it. She's feeling good. She's got the carnivore glow. She's smiling. She's live right now in the flesh, you guys. She's killing it. She's killing it.
Give it time. Give it time.
Karen, yeah, I'm looking for a coffee alternative. This is not the first time I have heard about this kind of tea in AM. I will have to try. Yep.
Okay.
Try it out. You're just starting a trend now, Lana. White Dove says, I love a good ribeye. Me too. That's probably my favorite cut of beef is the ribeye.
Yeah, I love it too.
Hurricane season is fun. What was that show? There was some show she said, I thought hurricane season was over. Her friend walked through the door and she says, I thought hurricane season was over. It just reminded me of that. Hurricane season is over. Unfortunately, yes, I have a wood power generator. Oh, yeah, we did read that. Rick, you're a smart dude, man.
He's amazing.
My husband bought some ribeye at the dollar store. What? What a joke. 35%. What is that? Solon with dextrose and other chemicals? Yeah, don't eat it.
Wow.
That and the toothpaste there, you probably don't want to, those two definitely things you don't want to put in your mouth there. And I was using Press Crow Health and I was getting like this white film in my mouth. And as soon as I switched off of Press Pro Health, I don't get this film in my mouth anymore. So if anybody's using Press Pro Health, throw it out.
My teeth feel so different.
Rick here. He says, meanwhile, I have never needed electrolytes. Rick, you're a Terminator. He really is, though. Simpson, Johns. I always say Jones. Goodness gracious. Simpson, Johns. I actually use new salt for some of the salt for the potassium instead of baking soda. Otherwise, mag citrate, regular salt with the new salt. Okay.
Magnesium citrate.
Yeah, sorry if I butchered that. Apologize. Carnivore Hunters, hey, how you doing? Say what's up to Lana here. Lana, I'm gonna pull while we're chatting here, I'm gonna pull your channel up.
Okay.
There we go. Carb Addict now Carnivore, guys. Go subscribe if you could. That would be awesome. Thank you
so much for that.
Yeah, no problem. Let's go through some more. And you guys, I've got her channel on there. So, Tiger Gang, if you guys could go on over there and show her some carnivore love and subscribe, I would appreciate that. And so would Lana. Hi, Hunters. How you guys doing? Yeah, check out that salt. Yeah, check it out. I love how everybody's sharing tips and stuff, and it's a great community. It really is. You guys are the best, man.
Is Redmond's the one that has the salt crystals, the big crystals, or is that a different company?
I got some here.
One of them has these giant crystals of salt.
Well, they are pretty big though. But it doesn't say what size the crystals are, but they said what makes salt real? Visit realsalt.com. Of course. It's the minerals. That's what makes it real.
Mm-hmm.
I was keeping mine on. I don't know. I was going to give you guys a tip. I got my empty bottle here. I bought a different bottle, but then I realized you can buy a big bag of Redmond's real salt to refill your bottles. So with the extra bottle, I'm not going to throw it out. I'm going to turn it into a carnivore Christmas ornament.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm going to hang it on the tree. So that's another thing. Those little tiny ones you could hang on the tree if you're not traveling at the time.
That's funny.
Scooby the dog. Ellen. Wow, she's a real cook. Yeah, she is. You're the hot something, JT. You're a natural. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just trying to, get you guys to see yourselves in a different way. Yes, hot and fresh. That's usually how my breath is in the morning, hot and fresh. I gotta go brush my teeth. We're having fun. We're having fun. Here we go. How long have you been carnivore, Lana? I'm just at week 7. None of the wonderful energy yet, but I think it will take time.
Oh yeah. Almost 11 months. It'll be 11 months at the right around Thanksgiving. So
Wow.
I'm close to 11 months, and things really leveled out for me around 8 months in. So yeah, don't feel like you're impatient. Just take it one day at a time, and you will over time begin to feel better and better, slowly but surely. And one day you'll wake up and go, "Hey, I got energy. I better do something with it. I can't be sitting here all day. I got to get out."
I feel like when your body starts feeling like that, it's letting you know, like, hey, it's time for some exercise or something now. Like, but when you're like out of out of shape, overweight, you don't have that burst of energy where your body's like, hey, let's go work out. You're just like, let's go relax. Like for me, it took a while to finally get that new energy where it was like, dude, I got to do something. I've got to lift some weights or something. Like my body's just begging for it.
Yeah.
Renee, I am waiting for that energy boost too. Ellen, 80 days here. There you go. Keep going. It'll come. Here we go. Here's a cue. Oh, here we go. Renee, already subbed, would sub again if I could. There you go.
Oh,
Tiger
thank
Gang in the
you.
house.
Thank you.
Simpson, Johns. I said it right. Question, I haven't found a good toothpaste. Baking soda is extremely irritating. Any suggestions? Misty from Ketoing Vikings. She just sent me some in the mail that I'm using. Unfortunately, I don't have the brand offhand, but it's treating my mouth a lot better than the the Crest Pro Health. That stuff was really irritating my gums, and it was burning the top layer of my mouth. It was putting like this white film because my skin in my mouth was getting burnt from the chemicals in the Pro Health.
Mm.
So um, yeah, find look up something that's look. I would Google it and say what's a better alternative to Crest Pro Health, and somebody should lead you down a good path. But otherwise, the next stream I'm on tomorrow, I'll make sure I take a picture of my toothpaste and I can let you know, Simpson, if you're around. You got any suggestions, Lana?
I started using Native brand. It's now in Walmart. I was buying it from the company online, and that is very gentle, really good. And they also have deodorant, which uses magnesium, not some of the chemicals, that's not so good for you. And I started off with the deodorant because I wanted to get away from, the bad stuff and the deodorants, but I couldn't find any that didn't make me itch. Everything made me itch.
Mm.
And so I tried theirs, and it doesn't make me itch, and it works really great. So
Native, huh?
Native, it's called, and it's a white container with green or blue letters on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great suggestion. Hopefully that helps you out, Simpson. My metamorphosis, Carrie, how you doing? Hi, friends. Great to see you. I'm subbed. Thank
Hey,
you.
Carrie.
Let's go. Let's see. Carnivore Hunters say hi, Lana.
Wow.
Let's see. Scooby the dog. I feel bad you missed the meetup, JT. I would have babysat. Yeah, my son, he just hit his terrible twos, and I thought that was just like a saying, but holy moly, he has found his voice, and he has been using it with authority lately. So I definitely feel like I now have a boss. That's for sure. You see that little
I'm
movie, Boss
laughing.
Baby? He's
I'm
literally.
laughing, JT. I have 7 children. I raised 7 children. They're all grown ups now, but those first couple kids, I tell you what, you learn a whole new world.
Oh man, I wanted to be a father, but I was like, wow, this is whoa. You got to be mentally tough though to be a parent, to be a good parent. To not blow up at your kids and yell at them all the time and get pissed off about things that really aren't worth getting pissed off about. When you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, you should be happy that they're you should be happy that they're whining sometimes, because that means they're happy, they're healthy, they're just hungry, they're
Hmm.
eating. He's doing everything he should be doing. So the fact that he gets a little whiny, oh well, suck it up, right?
Yeah.
It's part of being a parent. I wouldn't trade it for the world, though. I don't.
Yeah.
And I know it's just temporary. I can't wait to. Hopefully, one day he wants to help me run the channel here. That would be a dream come true.
Oh, yeah.
Redmond's has salt rocks you can lick. Hey, there you go.
That really helps with cravings. Getting those large pieces of salt and sucking on them will really help cravings. My channel is about cravings and how to help, with cravings. Thank you
Carnivore
so much
Hunters
for
sub to
deciding.
Carb Addict. There you go, Lana.
Thank you.
Let's get that momentum going for Lana.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Redmond's has the rocks. Dr. Berry gives his little Beckett one when he asks for it to suck on. Oh, okay. So good for kids, huh? Interesting. Let's see here. I'm just looking for any more. If you guys got any questions, put a Q in front of it. Do you what do you cook? Do you use any lard or tallow, Lana?
I use only the meat-based fats, lard, tallow, and butter. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't found any lard yet. The tallow has been the grass-fed beef tallow. It's been more available than the lard, but and I guess Rick was saying the lard's a little bit better than the the tallow's a little bit better than the lard. So I guess that's good that I've been finding tallow, but I would like to try the lard just to switch it up. Have you tried Rick's Heart Attack Chicken?
No.
You just buy like fryer thighs, with skin on them,
Mm-hmm.
and you drop them in tallow that you're heating up, and you fry them in tallow.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm telling you, you don't need no seasoning. I don't even put salt on them. You don't need
Wow.
none of that. It's like, who needs KFC and spending 40, 50, $60 on a couple buckets and some sides that you're not going to eat, and then you just go to the store and get some sale chicken with the skin on it.
Mm-hmm.
I try to look for the chicken that has the most skin on it, because then I know it's going to be really crispy and fry up really good. Oh,
So you
it's
do that with
amazing.
a whole chicken, or you use just pieces of chicken you drop
Just
into the.
pieces. I usually get a package that says fryer thighs,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all just
Oh,
uh,
thighs.
yep, thighs, fryer thighs, and they're just
Mm-hmm.
ready to chicken thighs are just ready to throw into the grease.
That
And
does sound good.
it's amazing. You can get legs or thighs.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm making my mouth water now. Man. Mm.
One thing I found about people that are carnivore, that when we talk about food, we get really into it.
Well, most of the time, I'm gonna level with you guys. I get done with these interviews and I gotta eat, because I've talked about food for an entire hour, and I'm like, I'm hungry now. Like, we literally just talked about food for 60 minutes straight. Like, I'm hungry. So it is, this show itself. It's a double-edged blade. I'm helping you guys, but then sometimes I get so hungry when I'm done with this. I'm like, man, but it's worth it though. I have a blast. Yes, I just heard from. I had Dr. Lisa Wiedemann on here on Monday, and she was saying when you cook with vegetable oils and you eat that stuff, it takes about 6 years to leave your body.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've had a couple things that were done in vegetable oil before carnivore, and that was a couple months in June. So I guess I got a couple years, another 5 years to go before I get rid of the stuff that I did pre-carnivore. But that's amazing. When I heard that, I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
Let's see here. I'm looking for cues, guys. Let's see here. JT William isn't going to help you run the channel. He's going to take it over. Yeah, I know. I know. Can't I dream, Renee? No, I would love to give him the channel one day, because I always said to my wife that I want his launching platform to be the highest ceiling I've ever reached. So I want to do as best as I can for him, and the highest I've ever reached, I want him to take off from there. So that's my goal as a father. Let's see here. Oh yeah, okay, they do. Okay. Ellen, she's a local. I met her at my local butcher shop, and she says they have lard at Heritage. That's the butcher shop. Good price. Okay, thank you. Here we go. Here's a cue. Lana, did you or do you own banner on your channel? Oh, did you do your own banner on your channel?
I have someone on Fiverr that works does work for me. He's really good. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, she's giving out all the secrets, you guys. Now, I'm question here. What would be like 3 easy tips you could give someone who's starting carnivore or thinking about starting carnivore?
Well, for somebody that hasn't started day one yet, I would recommend that you ease off the carbs, not go cold turkey. What I did was I made a pot of noodles, just regular pasta noodles, and put that in the refrigerator. And the first week that I was carnivore, I would put 1 spoonful of that on my plate just to kind of ease me down, because you can get sick if you just get off of it, because your body has to process and you're not fat adapted yet and all of that. So that helped me ease in, and I didn't get sick at the beginning. I didn't get sick till I stopped the coffee. But that's one thing I would say is ease yourself off. And then the second thing is don't focus on the weight so much. Focus on how you feel, because the weight's going to come off. You're doing the right thing. And this weighing every day, I'll tell you a secret here. Before I was carnivore, I had a lot of anxiety, and I started to do personal development around anxiety. And I realized that every time I got on the scale, I got anxious. I would look at that number and I would just get this wave of anxiety. And so I threw my scale in the trash.
Good for you.
It was a liberating moment for me to say, you're not going to control my emotions anymore.
Good
So
for
now
you.
when I
That
go
is
to my
so
sister's
awesome.
house, she has a scale in her bathroom. I go into her bathroom and I weigh myself. I'm only at my sister's house about once every 6 months.
That ain't bad.
I know I've lost 40 pounds because I was there a while ago. So yeah, don't just get rid of the scale, put it in the back of the closet, take it to the garage. Because you're doing the right things. Don't let the scale rule your emotions. Put it away and notice how you're feeling. And when you have a down day, just drink water, give your body rest, and keep on going, because we're on the right path. We're on the right track. Everything's going to be good. So just give yourself time, give your body time to get there. The one thing I really don't like about modern society, which, coming from the Amish, I wasn't in that space when I was growing up, is that we're in a hurry. I mean, we got a stopwatch out. We're clicking it. We're watching it every second. I mean, if the red light turns green, people are on the horn before you even get a second by. Just stop that. Just let it go and live the days, enjoy the time, and notice when, your knee stops hurting or your shoulder stops. Notice those things. I lost my gray hair. Look at my hair.
It looks amazing.
It's going blonde again, like it was when I was younger.
That's
That
amazing.
is, that's a big win. Every time I look in the mirror, I'm like, wow, my hair's back, Those are the things I focus on, not the scales. Good night. One of the best things that I do as far as weight is concerned is when I put on a pair of jeans and they fit really great. That's the part I really like. And so that's a positive, and not focusing on the negative, so much. So
Yeah, I say take the scale. I love what she said. Take it a step further though. Take it out to the driveway, run over that thing, sweep it up. Get the broom and the sweep. And sweep it up. Throw it in the trash can. Slam the lid down. Good riddance. We don't need it. I'm telling you. I
Yeah.
gotta take that advice more often too, because sometimes I'll weigh myself in the morning and it pisses me off for the rest of the day. I'm like, but I like I said, I was telling you, I hit that plateau, so it's something I've got to work on too. So I really like your advice, because even if you're not just starting carnivore, that's great advice.
Yeah, and the plateauing, if you're not on the scales every day, you're not going to really notice it as much. But the other thing, what I found with plateauing is if you change your routine, it can help you get away from the plateau. It'll break the plateau.
Hmm.
So just, like take the dog out on a different time. Or, when you normally exercise, switch it up and do it earlier, do it a little later. So change your routine. And you're telling your body then to wake up,
Hmm.
because these routines that we get into, we get complacent. The body just gets into this rhythm, and then you plateau. But if you change, you're gonna see things kick up again. That's been my experience anyway.
Absolutely. Yes. Got a question here. Didn't Dr. Wiedemann say mayo causes macular degeneration? I don't remember. She might have said that. I can't give you I don't want to misguide you, so I'm gonna say I don't know at the moment. I'd have to rewatch my own stream on that one. So sorry, Kathy. Um, really, wow, that's amazing about the hair. Yeah, it is. She's got her groove all the way back, folks.
um, Dave Mack from is it Zero Carb? Dave Mack.
No carb or zero carb. I can
No
never
carb.
remember, but
Yeah, his hair is back also.
that's
His hair is
amazing.
back to
He's such a
color.
sweet little guy. I love his,
I know. He's
Japan
awesome.
ass. I love it. Um, let's see here. Is that turquoise you got on, Lana?
This color?
The earrings.
Oh no, they're moonstones. They're actually white.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow, those are nice. They
thank
look a
you.
little like turquoise
I
after.
think they're reflecting this blue color
Yeah,
on this.
yeah.
Yeah, the pickup color.
Let's see here. What kind of doctor is Wiedemann? She's an eye doctor. She's been an eye doctor for 30 years.
She has a
Have you
great
tried?
channel.
Yeah, she does. Have you tried charcoal toothpaste?
I actually have some.
Yeah, is it good?
When I from Native. Native
Oh,
has charcoal. They also have mint and other things, but I did get one tube of charcoal to try it, and it's actually kind of cool. It's not. It's very smooth. It's not crunchy or harsh, and it also it doesn't leave you anything black. I was worried about black stuff in my mouth, but no, it's actually pretty great. Yeah.
I never would have thought, we could use charcoal on our teeth to make them white. It's amazing. Now, before we go, I got two quick questions for you. Would you take $1 million to go back to your old way of eating?
Absolutely not. I think health is more valuable than anything in the world.
Mm, I love that. I love that.
Mhm.
And before we wrap it up, we got the people here sitting here watching you. What's on your heart? What would you like to talk to them about while you wrap things up here?
What's coming to me is that it's so important for us to start thinking for ourselves based on our experiences, not listening to the narrative that everybody wants to tell us. I am more than 60 years old, and most people, my friends and my relatives, have a mindset of, well, it's only going down from here, but not for me. I feel like I've got my life back and my energy's back. My mind is clear. And I have 30 years of living left to do. That's a good chunk of time to do some great things. And so that's just one example. There's so many stories that we've been told, some of them about food, and we're stepping out of that. But the other piece of it is, what else in our lives have we been told that isn't really real? And I think aging is one of them. And then there are so many others about how we should live, what we should think, how we should conduct our lives, that we should just step back, take another look, and see what really works. What works, not just what they say we should do. Because I think we have been living in a dream and we're just about to wake up. And I'm loving it. I'm so glad I'm living my life in this age, this time. Yes, it's a beautiful time to be alive.
Yeah, I'm hoping I lived around Moses' age, about a 140. That would be just real nice. So if we're gonna be doing that on the carnivore, you got a lot of time left, Lana. You got to get to work. You got a lot of work to do.
Gonna write some more books.
Yeah. Did you have fun tonight?
Oh, this has been awesome. This has been just great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I love that laugh you got, that chuckle. I just love it. It's fun, and you got a great smile, great personality. You've got a great story, and I'm looking forward to keeping up with your channel and seeing for sure the Carnivore Tea video come out.
Yes, I'm looking forward to interviewing you and have you on my channel as well. It's going to be fun.
Yes, you guys can look forward to that. Lana's going to be interviewing me on her channel pretty soon.
Mhm.
I'm excited about that, and I just can't wait for that Carnivore Tea video. That's going to be a good one. But you guys, this has been it. This has been a great episode. My coach always says the first law of learning is repetition. So please go back and play this over. There's value in Lana, and there's value in her story. And we learned a bunch of stuff. I know I did. I learned a bunch today. Here we go. That's a great way to leave it here. Lana is beautiful. Thank you for sharing your story and your energy with us. Thank you, Ellen, for that comment. She's gorgeous and she's doing good. She's got the moon rocks on. She's got her groove back. What are moon rocks? Just so I know. Raise my awareness.
It's a type of stone that is reflective and it like picks up the colors of whatever it's around.
Ooh, so
Yeah.
that's why it's reflecting your shirt color there.
Yeah, it's a milky white color.
Wow. I'll have to
Yeah.
get some moon rock in the house here. That sounds cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, this has been a blast. No, they're laughing. Yeah, yeah. My coach taught me to not be embarrassed when you don't know something. He said to just ask the question and then you learn right away and then it's done. So I don't get embarrassed when I don't know something. I just go ahead and ask you ladies. I'm wet behind the ears. You got to dry me off. But you guys, this has been a blast. Would you come back in the future for an update, Lana?
Absolutely. I would love it. Thank you so much for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
we didn't scare her off, you guys. But that's it for today, you guys. Thank you. Goodbye. Rick, I'll do my duck face on the way out for you. Okay, buddy?